I am going to teach you the best endgame attacking tricks in FC24. Before I teach you the overpowered stuff, it is time to learn the essential. First up, we are going to focus on the driven pass. What is the driven pass? It is an R1X pass. It travels faster than your normal ground pass. Okay, guys? And secondly, we will focus on this aspect of always passing the ball in the triangles, like I said in my passing video. Okay. Next up, we are going to learn the skill move. It is called the step over speed boost. Like the name suggests, it is a speed boost. Okay, guys? It can be performed by any player on the pitch, and you can exit it in any direction you desire. However, guys, we want to get that speed boost, and for that, we need to exit it straight. Now, how do you perform it? It is very simple. If we are facing straight, now think of your right stick as a clock. We will go from 3 to 12 in an anti-clockwise direction on the right stick, and we will hold the left stick towards 3 p.m. Okay, so it will look like this. You get this? It is very easy. But remember, guys, whenever the direction of your player changes, so does the right stick input. Now, if I go from 3 to 12 here, it will do something else. Okay. Now, so what should I do? I want to go from 9 to 12 in an anti-clockwise direction while holding the left stick towards 9 p.m. because I'm facing the opposite way. So whenever the direction of your player changes, so will the input of your right stick. But if you learn it in one direction, then you will know where to point the left stick and the right stick when your player's direction changes. Just learn the input in one direction first. Next up, we have the flare nutmeg pass. Now, what is a flare nutmeg pass, guys? We hold L1 and R1 and we do a flare nutmeg. It is a 4-star skill move. Okay, so you need someone with 4-star skill move. You will hold L1, R1 and flick the right stick where you wanna exit. However, we are going to cancel this animation with a pass. So it will look something like this. So while doing this skill move, you will just press X in the direction you want to pass the ball towards. It is very unpredictable. Okay, so if you're going straight like this and you do this, it's very unpredictable for your opponent to actually guess your next move. The next thing we are going to talk a lot about in our attacking video is the ball roll. So in order to perform the ball roll, you either hold the right stick towards right or left of your player. It is a 2-star skill move and it is pretty easy. We will combine it with the step overs, we will combine it with the flare nutmegs and almost everything. Next up, the most important thing, the play styles. They are very crucial in the way we are going to learn attacking today. Okay, next up we have play styles. We have to focus on play styles because this game is a lot about the play styles. We want someone on the wings, ideally with the aerial plus playstyle. It makes them jump higher and we can win those headers. Your striker and at least one of your outside cam / winger needs to be rapid plus, because when you do the step over speed boost with someone who has rapid plus, they burst past the defender and you cannot catch them whatsoever if they have rapid plus and you time your step over correctly. Finesse shot plus is also very useful, especially inside the box and outside the box against players who do not move the goalkeeper. In our midfield, we need someone with incisive pass plus and long ball. Okay, these both playstyles are very important because without them we will not be able to attack the way I am about to show you. Our fullbacks also need to have long ball pass plus, because again we are going to use a specific pass that is very overpowered with this playstyle. And yes, I have not forgotten about the technical plus playstyle. It is still very useful, it is still very overpowered. If you can have it on your CM and on your winger, it is a plus as well. Now what I am about to teach you has to do with the fundamentals as well as abusing the specific meta of this game. Meta means most effective tactics available. And now tactics doesn't only mean the tactics we use on our team, it also means in-game tactics, the way we attack, the way we defend. Alright guys, so again, it's a combination of fundamentals plus meta. Why fundamentals? They are very important. Game awareness, like I always say in my videos, is also very important. Which is why if you look at all these examples, we are using fundamentals in combination with game awareness, as well as knowing when to use a specific meta pass, when to use a specific meta skill move, when to use a specific play style and abuse it. All right, it is all about knowing this and abusing it to the best of its advantage. So here we are going to perform a ball roll. Why do we perform a ball roll? Because see, we are building up in our own half. The attack starts the moment we start building up from our own half. Okay, so we have to be very careful. We're going to use the rule of passing the ball in a triangle, and also knowing the fact that it is always best to pass the ball in the direction we are facing. So in order to facilitate this, we're going to use a ball roll to escape the pressure. Where is the space? The space is here. I always say take a touch towards the space, do a skill move towards the space. So we are going to perform a ball roll for that very reason. See, we do that. Now we have escaped the pressure. Now what have we done? We have created a triangle. Are we going to use it? Let's see. No, we don't use it. But see, what do? Eventually, we use the triangle that we created. Now again, we are going to use the fundamental rule of passing. This is how our passing has looked like. Have you seen that it is not straight? What most people do is that they play in straight lines. If you're always going to pass the ball like this in straight lines, so you want to open up space and put yourself in 1v1 situations against the defender. So see, with Mbappe, we go to Haaland, and now what do? We are going to use the space. So how can we use the space over here? We are going to use an L1 speed boost. So you simply hold the L1/LB on your controller and exit with the R2 button. Your player will do a speed boost. How is it different than a step over speed boost? Step over speed boost is straight. With this speed boost, you can exit in different directions. Again, there is a time and space for every move to be used. You can even see me doing step overs with defenders just to get away and have that space for the pass. Okay. Now we use the step over speed boost. Okay, now we are down on the wing. Remember, I told you about the essentials. Which essential are we going to use over here? Pause the video and tell me. Of course, we are going to use the flare nutmeg pass. By using the flare nutmeg pass, we can evade this defender and pass the ball to this attacker. And then with this attacker, we have the space in front of us that we can use. Also, these two guys are going to come and join the attack, and we can potentially cut the ball back. Now we do another speed boost away, so we can have the space because our opponent is defending this pass. So we do another ball roll just to find an angle. When we find an angle, we can pass the ball away from the defenders, lock on to our players, and we score the goal. So this attack started from this ball roll and left stick dribble, and it finished with the goal. All right. It is all about using the fundamentals in combination with the meta, as you can see. If you do not develop the game awareness, you'll not be able to attack this way. After watching this video, you might not be immediately be able to attack this way, but if you practice these things that I'm about to teach you, you will actually attack in a much better way compared to before. We are going to build up. We are using a 4-4-1-1. We are going to involve every player. We are going to trigger manual runs. Triggering manual runs is the next thing I'm going to talk about, and using through passes. And see, we are going to score this goal. You might say it's a cross. Yes, it is a cross. But have you seen how we opened up the space for the cross? So see, we click R1 and call R9 shot. Why do we do that? Because we want to actually make sure that we make 100% pass. If you lose the ball over here in your own half, when the opponent is pressing you, there is a big chance that you might actually concede the goal. So we're going to call him short and then play the ball like this. It is a triangle. You are always going to pass the ball ideally in triangles like this in these lines rather than playing straight like I told you. I'm emphasizing it because it is very important. So we do exactly that, see. And now with Alexia, we tell her to run. It is a manual trigger. Why a manual trigger and why not get in behind? Because when you manually trigger the runs, you can time the passes. And ideally, we want to time our passes, all right? We want to have more control over the game. We want to create that space that we can eventually exploit. So we're going to use these mechanics. We are telling Alexia to run. Alexia is running. So we will create a triangle between three players that we just did. And now we're going to play a through ball into her. Now see, we do a ball roll and take a touchdown burst. As you can see, she has incisive pass. So we see that our CM is running. We are going to use, we are using balanced instruction. So we're going to thread a pass through. So we are going to thread a pass through to our CM. All right. It's all about knowing what you're doing on the pitch, where the space is available and having that eye for the space. After threading that pass through, see, we are going to hold R1, take a couple of touches in the space, just so our RM can get into the space for the cross. The moment he does that, we are going to use L1 square, cross the ball, end up scoring this goal. Now I'm going to talk about dummy runs. All right. See, we have told Alexia to run, but we are not going to actually pass the ball to her. It is called a dummy run. Since this is a game of chess, we have to play it like that. All right. See, either we can pass the ball to Alexia or we can use the space over here. It is a decision that we have to make. It is about margins. We have Mbappe. Mbappe is very fast. We know that. So what are we going to do? We are going to dummy that run. Although we could have maybe played an L1 triangle pass, but it was all about margins and in-game decisions. So what are we going to do? We are going to use, instead we are just going to run in the space and surprise the opponent, right? Because we have the space, we use the step over speed boost. Mbappe is really quick. So what do? Again, we wait. When we have the RM, we are going to use aerial plus and end up scoring the goal. In this situation, there is no space whatsoever. However, if you look, the right mid is free. So how can we get the ball over to the right mid? This is what we have to think. It is all about knowing where the space is available. So we are going to glance at the radar, look at the radar, and see where the space is available. Then I told you about the long ball pass plus. We are going to do a ball roll because we weren't facing the direction. We ideally want to be facing the direction, or at least facing away towards the stands, and then going for the lob pass really works. That is why I always use my player who has the long ball pass plus. If he is a right-footed player, I am going to use him as a left CM so I can do this. Okay, so he is the left, so he is the left CM, and we see that Haaland is over there going to perform a ball roll followed up by a lob through pass, and you see what's going to happen. There we have the space. But now what do? We are going to head the ball towards Mbappe, and then green time finishing. Green time is really important. If you do not green your shots, you are going to struggle yet again. So wherever the space is available, we are going to use the essentials to find that space and then actually break through. Now over here, we have a decision to make, all right? Either we can cross the ball or we can go for a recycle. This is the next thing that I'm going to talk about. Recycling is the most overpowered, or the second most overpowered thing in FC24. Now what is recycling? It is going from the wings back to the midfield. Okay, this, if I go like this, guys, this is a recycle. So you always want to recycle or cross or do something on the wings, right? You can also use the step over. It all depends on what is the most productive option in that specific situation. So ball rolls and quickly shifting the ball from left to right, right to left always actually helps. See, ball roll, pass, and now we're going to use a player lock so we can find the pass into this player and manually position him away from the midfielder. We do that. Now we have a defender to beat. You can use left stick, touch away, touch back in. This is a technique that almost always works. It is an OG technique from the previous days of FIFA. Combine it with R1 dribbling and you will have a lot of success. Here you will see the recycles being used at the highest level of the game. PH Zin versus Montague, and you will see how PH Zin will concede this recycle. He uses a long ball pass. Okay, and now Drogba is their player lock. This is the recycle. Back from wings into the midfield, into the D. You see, first time pass into Pedri, who's the midfielder. He ends up scoring the goal. Now this is a new technique. Not a new technique, but not something many people use. Bonano manually triggers Mbappe. This is the whipped pass plus German cross. Okay, so he's going to use a German cross, not for the CM, but for the striker. He's going to wait when Mbappe is on the last man. He will play a whipped pass. Okay, you need someone with the whipped pass. Whip pass into Mbappe, simply using square with the whipped pass, timing it. Actually, he manually triggers the run. So timing is really important. Does exactly that, and see. One more pass, it's an easy. These are literally the only attacking tricks you need if you want to hit the best ranks possible or just want to improve as a player. Now I want you to check these tactics out here.